Fine. Okay, guys. I think we can get started. We have a good number of people here. As I said earlier, I mean, this session is primarily for mentorship. Okay. So first, I just have a couple. I'll just take a couple of minutes to give you some brief on. I mean, like, what is it that we are expecting from this project, and what are some of the tools that you can use to make it better. Okay, like I'm sure that you guys must already be aware of many tools out there, but for those of you who are not aware of it completely, I'll just take a few minutes to talk on few of the tools that might be of use to in your process of developing this project. Okay, so first of all, like congratulations uh, on the proposals. So your proposal was reviewed by the group of experts, and they just shortlisted your proposal. So as mentioned, the proposal was mainly evaluated from the angle of how exactly you're using LLM in it, the feasibility of it, and also what is the problem that you're trying to solve. Is it something that is already that I can get answer from ChatGPT, or something that is slightly more nuanced, like an existing solution not out there? So these are the parameters in which the proposals were evaluated, and it was like shortlisted. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, this is not a project where you guys submit a notebook to us. No, that is not what we are expecting. We are expecting something like a full-fledged tool. Okay, something like a mini website or something. Your proposal was also evaluated on that grounds only, and I think most of you clearly outlined the architecture, what are the tech stack you're going to use, and everything was fine. I hope you guys like do it in the project as well. So the first main thing that I want to touch upon is access to Open Router. Okay, so Open Router is I'll just paste a link here if you want. Um, I'm just pasting the link. Just a minute. Okay, for some reason it's not okay. You guys able to hear me fine, right?
Yes, sir. Voice is clear.
Fine, fine. For some reason my internet is not that great today. I'm not able to click the message button. Okay, fine. I mean, like anyways, I'll just basically you can just like go to like the Google and type openrouter.ai. Okay. So that is the tool that we will be using. That is something like we don't have to get a separate API key for, let's say, Claude, separate API key for Gemini, and separate one for like GPT models. So this is a framework where I would say like a wrapper on top of all the LLMs out there. So you just need to get only one API key. Yeah, Mahesh pasted the link there. You can just like go through it. So you'll be given only one API key. With that one API key, you can access any model out there. And Open Router has pretty huge set of models. They have uh, good open source models as well. Like they have hosted Llama, DeepSeek, Quen, and also other models like Gemini models or Claude models, so on and so forth. So it's just one single like API key that you need to access all these models. So that's why we are just going ahead with Open Router and not with any other party where you just need to where you can get only access to their models and not something that is holistic. So it has if you go through Open Router, you can just check the pricing of it. So for all the 10 teams that are shortlisted, we will be giving API keys worth $10. Okay, so you can just use up to $10 in experimenting this purpose. Like you might think that $10 is somewhat less amount, but actually if you look at the pricing of these models, if you look at GPT, so not GPT, like Gemini Flash, the pricing will be like 20 or 30 cents per million tokens. Of course, it depends on whether it's input token or output token. So generally, output tokens are much more pricier compared to like input tokens. That's how like they are designed. We had like discussion about this even when I think we were having this lecture series on why output tokens are costlier than input tokens. So that's the idea. So you can just browse through the openrouter.ai page, and you can just check the pricing, like what is the price that different models are charging. And of course, some models like DeepSeek, Quen, they are free of charge. You can just simply use the API key, and there won't be any like anything that will be going from your balance. Okay. So that is what it is. And see, like we cannot exceed the budget, so $10 is what you are given. So like, don't come to me like later on and saying that I finished my $10, give me more. That won't be possible because we are all operating with a budget constraint. But if you want to use sophisticated models outside of this open order, that's also possible. You can sign up for Gemini API. Of course, it has some restrictions. You get access to Flash, like Gemini Flash, like Gemini Pro and all. But of course, there are very I mean, like there are many restrictions, like number of calls you can make per minute, number of calls you can make per day, or so on and so forth. Okay, you can just go through the page that we had shared earlier. So that's with respect to Open Router. Any questions on this before I move on to the other parts? I will share the API keys by the end of today. Okay, you can use to make. I'll just basically share it to the team leads. The 10 team leads, I'll share it to them. You can just take it from them.
We can use our own API if we have something, right?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is
yeah,
not.
fine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can very well like do it. If you can just pay for your own API, it's who are we to stop it?
Okay. Okay.
Okay, fine. Yeah, this is for basically for people who don't want to pay out of their own pocket. We are basically giving API key. Okay, fine. Any other questions with respect to this? It's also pretty straightforward to use. You can basically there are some many starter codes on how to use Open Router. The template is very same as the OpenAI template. How exactly you will be accessing the Python package. I think they also have uh, they support Python and also TypeScript, I guess. Maybe you can just like, check that out. I've used Python a lot, but in case if you're building an application fully in TypeScript, that's also possible. Okay. Like anyways, there will be an endpoint. You can query that endpoint from whichever language you want.
Sir,
That's what. Yeah.
using Open Router, we can access any model which they had.
Yeah, any model. But then the thing is, certain models are pricey. Like for example, let me just a minute. I'll just. Okay, so I'm just in Open Routers page. Let me see if I can share my screen. Okay. 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 As I said, my internet is behaving really weird. That none of the buttons are working fine for me. Okay, fine. So let me quickly like go through what I'm seeing. So in like Open Router, Gemini 2.5 Pro, they are charging $1.25 per million token for basically input and output. It's basically $10 per million token. So 2.5 Pro is really costly. But on the other hand, if you are going to look at the Qwen 3 235 billion model thinking, which is again a thinking model, the price is $0.1118 per million tokens. Input and output is also same. So it's basically 11 cents per million tokens. Okay. So you can basically play around with the different models out there, and you can just look at the price and use it accordingly. Okay. Typically the open source models will be priced very low, because the only cost that you need to bear is the hosting cost. They don't have to pay to any other third party provider. Like if you're using like Gemini 2.5 Pro, Open Router basically needs to pay like Google for it, right? So those models will be pretty costly. uh, but if you look at Flash, Gemini Flash, that's it's 30 cents for input token per million token, and output is basically $2.5 per million token. So you can just go to the website. That is very comprehensive. You have all the details there, and you can find everything there. Yeah. Uh, so yeah, to your question, you can answer any model. You can use any model that's there, no problem. Okay. So any questions on open router? Yeah. So in case we have any doubts, just put it in the chat. That the chat that we have channel will be able to pick it up. So that's with respect to open router. Okay. The second thing that I want to talk about is other uh, other basically the free APIs that you can use. So there is something called as weather API, which you can use in case if your project needs to have access to some news article. Okay, you can use weather API. That's also free of cost. Of course, when I say free tier, it has some restrictions. It won't be like you can query as many times as you want. Okay, and there's also an API for web search, like Google search, like something like SERP API. And SERP API is, I think they don't have a free version. I'm not exactly sure about it. When I checked it a couple of days back, there wasn't any free version. But there's also another API called Tabli. That basically is API which you can use for the Google search, and they offer a free tier. You can, I think, you can do up to 1,000 searches per month, I guess. You can always create a new Google account and like use it if you want. Okay. So you can just explore, like there are many APIs that offers free tier, and for the purpose of this mini project that you're doing, you can try exploring like these APIs. Just try to build a holistic system. So that's the second part. And the third part that I want to basically talk about is deployment. Okay, so when it comes to deployment, again, we want this, I mean, if possible, so deployment is, I would say, if you can do it, will be well and good. If not, you can just even show us in the local host. Okay, the deployment should be done. Okay, be it in cloud or in your local laptop. That's up to you. We prefer having it in the like in the cloud, like, so that even the other students or others can access it. But if that's too much for you, and if you don't have much experience, even localhost is fine for us. If you're planning to deploy it, then you can just basically use something called as Vercel. Okay, so Vercel offers free deployment. In fact, the web page for this hackathon, I mean, for this workshop, is hosted in Vercel. Okay, but Vercel, mostly it supports only applications that are built in TypeScript. Okay, something like the Next.js framework. But if you are going to use something like Streamlit, then it won't be supported in Vercel. You need to use Streamlit Cloud. Okay, they also offer free deployment solutions. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. You don't even have to know about Dockers. You just have to commit the code in Git and basically point the Git repository to these platforms, Vercel or Streamlit Cloud, and they will automatically host it and deploy it for you. Okay. So these are the three main aspects that I want to cover with respect to the project. Okay, so now actually it's an open-ended session. Okay, we just basically are here to give you some ideas, and basically in case if you're stuck somewhere, we just want to throw in some ideas and see how it goes. So that's the plan for these sessions. If you have any questions, you can just ask us. Yeah, anyone?
So for submission, you need just a running application. Doesn't need any document or a detailed document against that, right?
If you have no, you would have committed the codes in Git, right? You just have a README in the Git. That's all. No
Yeah,
need for the
README.
documentation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
README is not the detailed document that every
No,
step.
the README is fine. README is fine. Just have the like, README in the GitHub. Okay. And one more thing that I forgot to cover is you have access to GitHub Copilot. Okay. Uh, I think for students it is free. You can just like sign up with your your student ID. Even otherwise, you have access to like GitHub Copilot in VS Code, but the choice of models will be limited. I think you have access to the GPT 4.1 and Claude 3.5. I guess Claude 4 models are not available in the free version of the GitHub Copilot, but the other models are available. At the same time, like Gemini Code Assist, that's also there. So these are really powerful tools. I would say it will accelerate your development like framework. And like Google Cloud, I mean, like Google Code Assist is again like Gemini Code Assist. I mean, that's again a free tool. Okay, you can just simply open up VS Code, install Google Cloud, or sorry, like Gemini Cloud Code Assist, and sign in with your Gmail, and that will be basically be there for you. Typically, if you're using this GitHub Copilot sort of a thing, there are three modes in which you can operate it. There is one called as Ask mode, Edit mode, and Agent mode. Okay, so Ask mode is something, um, you have a piece of file and you have a doubt in a particular section, or you want to add a particular feature, and you want the basically the model to basically fill it up for you. It won't edit the code, it will just give you some suggestions. You can basically take a look at the like suggestion. If it is good, you can apply it to the current file that is open. That is the ask mode. Edit mode, on the other hand, you give a task, it just goes and edits the file that you have opened, and asks you whether it's good to go or not. Okay. And the last is agent mode. So agent mode, I think you have only 20 or 30 times you can use agent mode, I guess, in the free version. Okay. So that's complete autonomy. Basically, you just give a task, like, hey, develop this feature in this code base. It will automatically goes and understands the entire code base, knows which all files to be accessed, modified. If it needs to create new files, it will create a new file automatically and get it done. Okay. But use this agent mode with caution, because it will try to do it will also basically mess up with your code base, to some extent. It thinks that it has finished the task, but in principle it would have just messed up with your code base, and basically broke many of your existing features. So yeah, so these are the three modes that are there. You can explore these three things as well. But it's a really powerful tool. Explore either GitHub Copilot or Gemini Code Assist. These two are available as ready-made plugins in VS Code. You don't have to even know front end development fully. You can just give this task, and it will code it up for you. Of course, you need to be at least in a position to understand what has been written. Otherwise, it will be difficult for you to debug. But yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah.
One more question, like when we are going to use the front end like Streamlit or Fast API, we can use any LLM tool to get the code, because we are not expert on that, right? That's is not going to be any plagiarism or something, right?
So I didn't get your question, Mukesh. Can I come again?
So, like for example, I am creating on Streamlit and I am not expert on that, so I can use any LLM tool like ChatGPT. I can take
Yeah,
that
yeah,
code
yeah.
and
You can, you
there
can,
is
you
no.
can, you can. So that's
Okay.
what I'm saying. Don't go to ChatGPT to do it, because that becomes difficult for you to integrate with your existing code base. If you're using VS Code, in VS Code itself, you can install Gemini Code Assist or GitHub Copilot. They
Yeah,
come.
VS Code. I'm talking actually VS Code. Yeah, right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because like sometimes like, people will have like ChatGPT window open separately and then VS Code separately, and then they try to copy paste code. That becomes a bit messy, because
Mhm.
ChatGPT won't have context basically of the entire code base. Try to use VS Code inbuilt plugins like Copilot or Code Assist, and these are completely outside of your this one your open router setup.
Right,
They are
right, right,
completely
right.
free. Okay, they don't consume your open router credits.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, thanks. Clear.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Magesh, you want to add anything? I hope I covered everything, but in case if I missed anything.
Yeah, it's good, Partha. You covered it all. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, any questions from anyone? Okay. Maybe this is the first meeting since you guys haven't started working on it. I think there are not much of questions. But yeah, if you're not sure about which technology to use, which tech stack to use for your project, maybe you can just ask out. And then maybe in the upcoming sessions when you have something ready, you might have more questions.
How much time do we have to complete the project?
So we already mentioned the frame, the timeline, right? So basically, the project review is something in the end of August. Basically, we just have 1 month. Okay. Uh, Today is 27th actually. We have this first capstone project guide. I mean, the guided capstone project, and we have one on August 9th and on August 16th. Okay, so these are the mentorship select sessions, and after that, we will be having this presentation. So next week, I'm assuming that you guys are having your quiz too, right? Around next week.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's why we don't have the session on next week. Okay, the next mentorship session will be on August 9th. Okay, as per our we'll be going as per our plan. Actually, today's session one was only slightly upset. Basically, it was supposed to happen yesterday, but due to unavailability of the mentors, basically we just moved it to today. But apart from that, we will be just sticking to the schedule that is there in the course portal. I mean the workshop portal. Then the next session will be on 9th August, and after that it will be on 16th August. And end of August, we'll find some time to showcase your projects. Okay, so roughly I would say you have 1 month to do it.
So what will be the exact deliverables that we need to submit?
So exactly as I said before, whatever you mentioned in the proposal, we just want a working demo of it. Okay.
As in like a hosted link, or the code base or and presentation video would be fine.
No, see, no need of presentation. Okay, we are not going to basically solicit through another presentation. It will be mostly a session where you demo your product. Okay, it can even be hosted locally, or it can be basically from this one your like some cloud providers hosting, like Vercel or Streamlit Cloud. Okay, and maybe you can just have one slide on what exactly was architecture that you guys used. Okay, because you had proposed like something, but when you get into doing it, actually few things may not be possible, or you might want to change your architecture. Maybe that alone, if needed, I'm not saying it's mandatory. If needed, you can make 1 or 2 slides on that, but mostly we are looking for a live demo, not just some ppts. Okay. Okay, fine. Are there any other questions? Okay. So we should be into the, yes, yeah. Go on. I see your hand raised. Yeah.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Yeah. Yes. Go on. Go on. You went on mute in case you're speaking.
Hello, sir. Good
Yes.
morning, sir.
Go on. Aziz. Yeah.
Uh, See, my project is related to the your website, IITM website.
Mm-hmm.
So, maximum I have collected the data or the documents that you are using to show the instructions or to give the instructions related to the subjects. Like for MAD 1, you have the separate document related to the MAD 1 project. Similarly, for a MAD 2 project, we have the separate document. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I have collected all that I know. Whatever the left for the subject like a BS subjects and elective subjects. If there is any document, can you show me or can you say the link or where I can
Yeah.
find
So
those documents?
that is
Because
the next thing that I want to cover. So we won't be helping you with the data. Okay, so data is something that you need to manage because we don't want to get into the process of collecting data for you. So you guys on your own with respect to data. We can help you with the LLMs, APIs for that, and deployment support. With respect to data, I mean, we don't want to get involved in that.
yeah, but we don't have the access for the subjects like LLM. We have not registered for LLM subject, na? So we don't know whether there is a document for LLM or Gen AI subject that is started in this term. So
See,
that's why I'm asking that.
you do it whatever you have access to. Okay, okay. We don't have to do it for all the courses. You are team NeoX, right?
Yeah.
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 So you do it whatever you have access to. You must have taken a couple of courses so far, right? Do
Yeah.
it whatever you have access to. You don't have to. Basically, this is just a demo, right? It's just a POC. You're not
Okay.
developing a full-fledged product. Do it whatever you have access to.
Okay, it's fine. So I have collected all the documents up to the diploma.
Yeah,
All the
that's
subjects.
fine. That's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine. See, you're not basically going to basically take this and give it to users directly for them to use, right? This is just for a workshop. You're doing a project just to learn. Okay, you don't have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
basically collect data of all the courses and do it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, thanks.
Okay, fine.
One more thing. Every Saturday you are conducting session, like on 9th and 16th. We have the 2 more sessions on Saturday.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
So can you start little earlier, like 9 to 11 or 12? Because our time is 10 to 1. Nah?
Yeah, 10 to 1. Yeah, 10 to 1 was the actual workshop session. Yeah,
Yeah,
schedule.
yeah. So
So you
instead of that,
you want okay. So so you want us to, because the thing is, like Saturday 9 o'clock we have our internal meeting. That's the reason why we have it at 10 o'clock.
or otherwise on Sunday you can schedule it, because on Sunday we are totally free.
Okay, what about others? Will Sunday work for you?
August 10th, sir.
Yeah, yeah. August 10
Yeah,
and
August 10th,
17.
17th. August 10th and 17th, Sunday. It was on a Saturday, but we, based on request, we wanted, there are some Saturday 10 o'clock we can't, like 9 o'clock we can't do it because we have an internal meeting. So people were suggesting that we can move it on Sunday. So I just want to get your thoughts. Will Sunday work for you, or is there any hurdles on Sunday? Okay, I see a lot of thumbs up, not a single thumbs down. Okay, then we'll do one thing. We'll just basically move this to Sunday. Okay. Instead of August 9th, it will be on August 10th, and instead of August 16th, it will be on August 17th. Okay. Same time, 10 o'clock should be fine, right? 10:30 should be fine, right? 10:30 to.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Fine, yeah. Like that, we'll do it, yeah. Okay. And again, please remember, in these sessions, it's for you guys. You guys need to basically come and ask us any doubts or clarifications that you need on the project. It won't be like a lecture session. In today's basically session, I had to give few instructions, but those instructions won't be there in the next 2 sessions. Okay. So it's mostly to help you or assist you with the project that you're building, to bounce some ideas, and it like may not be with us, it can also be with other your peer group, other students.
Basically, after completing the project, we have to show the demo. Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah.
So it is on the local machine or our laptop, or it is on the somewhere we have to host it and we have to run it.
That's correct. See, if you want to basically get an end-to-end experience on how to deploy things, not at scale, at least to deploy somewhere in the cloud, you go and deploy it. We can assist you to do it. But if you think that that's not my cup of tea, it's too much for me to do in the short time, then just basically do it in localhost. That's also fine.
Yeah. So what are the different, you can say, that ways to deploy it? You mentioned the two, one Vercel and the Streamlit. Yeah.
So these are the two things that we suggest, because these two are free. Okay. If you're looking for any other specialized deployment, then probably you need to rent out a separate GCP compute instance or EC2 instance and host it there. That's I wouldn't recommend, because this is for workshop and I don't want you guys to unnecessarily spend. Okay, so these two, whatever I said, they are free. Vercel as well as Streamlit Cloud. If you're going with a Streamlit based application, deployed in Streamlit Cloud. If you're going to use Next.js and build it using TypeScript sort of like setup, do it in Vercel. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course, GCP offers you some $200 free credit. If you sign up with the Gmail, if you will be giving, you'll be given $200 free credit. You can very well use it to use some other tech stack for deployment. Maybe you can just spin a GCS compute, like GCP compute server, and then host your server there. That's also possible. But that's a lot of work, I would say. Setting up a GCP project is not easy. There's a question in the chat. Can I just repeat that question? As I said, I don't have access to this chat today. Hello? Someone posted a question in the chat, right? Can you just
The question is that can we access the discourse to get the information, because our project is the same on that one. We are collecting the information from IITM and then we are making a
see discourse?
agent. Yeah. So is
If
it a
there
discourse
is
is
a
open or
yeah,
closed?
yeah. Discord, I'm not sure because only members of the particular course can have access to the discourse, right? Not everyone have access to the discourse. If that is the case, then I don't think you can even access by API. Okay. So just don't think about it too much. So even if you do it for, see, you collected all the information for diploma level course, right? I'm sure you have collected data of at least 10 courses, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 courses should be good enough to start. Don't basically break your head too much on that. Okay, 10 courses is more than enough. It's just, I would say, like a POC they're building, right? If it's going to work for this 10 course, most likely it's going to work even if you scale up. Most likely, of course, yeah. That's fine. That's fine. Any other questions? Yeah. So maybe if there are no more questions, I think we can end early. I don't want to simply drag it to 12 o'clock. So as I mentioned, I'll create the API keys and share it with the team leaders. Okay, there are 10 team leaders. I'll share it with you guys. Maybe once in a week, I'll just basically take a screenshot of what is it you have spent and what is the balance, and then I'll just share it with you guys so that you can plan accordingly. And be mindful, you can just get the cost details, everything from Open Router. The documentation is very simple, straightforward. You can just basically take a look at it and do it. And there are other ways also to access a LLM. Especially, I'm not sure about uh, Claude or GPT models, whether they have any free APIs or not. But Gemini definitely has free APIs. Okay, you can just go to Google and type like Gemini API key creation. You'll be able to create an API and then API key and start using it. Of course, with restrictions. You can't basically query as per your wish. Since it's free tier, there are many restrictions on that. Okay. In fact, if you remember for the RAG exercise, I had used endpoint from the Gemini free version. Fine. Okay then. I know we're ending early, but fine. Yeah, like we can always catch up whenever needed in the chat, or in the next session, as and when needed. Okay. Okay, guys. Anyways, thanks for joining and all the best for the project. Keep us posted on anything that you have questions. Like any questions, you can just post it in the chat and I'll be able to pick it up and answer. Thanks for your time, guys. Yeah, see you. Bye.